Hello everyone, my name's Cliff and welcome back to my channel. This is Cliff's Dark Gems. And if you're new here, welcome for the first time. And tonight we're going to do a tag. Not just any tag, but a horror tag. Stay tuned. Okay everyone, so this is an original tag created by Danny at Danny Dabbles, and I was tagged by Danny, and it's called You Want to Go Where? Horror book tag. And yeah, it consists of 7 prompts, and I must say the 7th prompt is kind of insane, but yeah, let's get going with the tag. Let's see what we come up with. Okay, another thing, for once I'm not going to hold up the books, I'm just going to put the images up, because yeah, I'm lazy tonight, I don't feel like doing that. Okay, but prompt number 1, what horror setting would you die the quickest? There can be only one setting, and that is Swan Song nuclear holocaust, wipes out the population, and you're kind of one of the luckiest ones if you die quickly, because after the nuclear devastation, you're either going to die a very slow, painful death, or you're going to live a very miserable life. So yeah, it's probably better just to die in the first blast. That's one song. Prompt number 2 is what horror setting would you likely survive? Okay, I'm going to go with The Long Walk by Richard Bachman, aka Stephen King. And I'll tell you why. Set in a dystopian future where a whole bunch of 16-year-olds take part in this competition every year, where it's like a walking marathon with no finish line, and they've got to walk at a certain pace. If they slow down, they get 2 warnings, maybe 2 or 3 warnings. 3 warnings. But anyway, they get warnings and then they're out of the game. And it's last man standing. Why would I like to be in this world? Why am I likely to survive? Well, I'm 53 years old, so I won't be taking part in that particular marathon. I'm not saying that I would enjoy being in that dystopian future, but the question said, what would you likely survive? So yeah, that's my answer for the second one, and that is A Long Walk by Stephen King. Prompt number 3, scary but satisfying. Which horror world is worth the risk? Now, when I was thinking about this question, kind of difficult, because you're going to explore a world, you'd rather choose a fantasy world, a horror world, there's monsters, there's things that can eat you and hurt you and kill you. But I was thinking about gothic fiction. Okay, let's just take the vampires out of there and just say gothic fiction, you know, like medieval castles, sort of strange castles or strange estates that are gothic by nature. And I'm going with We Have Always Lived in a Castle by Shirley Jackson, because I'd love to visit that world that she creates, that is so just creepy and gothic and beautiful. And I'd love to have a little tour of that castle that this family live in. And yeah, I don't think I'm at too much risk. I'm not going to say anything more, I don't want to spoil the story or anything like that, but yeah, I'm going to go with that, and it's a nice gothic example. This next one is my favorite, number 4. Where or who would you send your worst enemy to? So I'm going to answer both. I can't think of that many people. I can think of maybe one person, right baby, that sends to these places, but yeah, I could just maybe think of one person, but even that's a bit harsh. Where? The Black Farm. And this is about a couple that commit suicide. Yeah, and they think they're going to be in peace now. No, they end up at the Black Farm, where their lives become a living nightmare. And yeah, they're tortured, murdered. Kind of a minor spoiler, just very minor. But yeah, then you get spat out again. So you can't escape the Black Farm. and all the horrible things that happen to you there. And then next up, I don't know if this is better or worse, but I might give them a short stay in hell, where they have to have time to think about their sins towards us. They end up in this massive library, and all they have to do is find the book of their life. But yeah, this library is not just massive, it's actually kind of mirrored on this real life library. I can't remember what it's called, or from this other book. But anyway, they may perhaps spend longer than they think trying to find the story of their life. That could be time spent, on their sins. And who? Well, Off Season by Jack Ketchum. I'd introduce them to a family of mutant inbred cannibals that just all very willing to eat them, to torture them. And one thing about this book is interesting is that the cannibals don't just eat you, they want to make sure that your flesh is nice and tender. So they torture you first, because the more terrified you are, the tenderer your flesh will be. Yeah, so basically, I don't have a really bad enemy, so you kind of be okay. But if you make bad enemies with me, yeah, those are the places I will send you. Prompt number 5 is pique your interest. Which horror element would you investigate? The element being like setting, character, world. Okay, so I'm just going to go setting and character here. With setting, I would be more than prepared to investigate a haunted house, because I'm a little bit of a skeptic. I just go and let me see what's there. See what's banging on the walls or rattling chains or whatever. I'd go and check it out. For character, Hannibal Lecter. I've always had a fascination with serial killers. As long as he's behind behind the bulletproof glass or whatever, I'd like to question him. He's not going to get in my head. My head's dark enough already. But I'm interested in serial killers, so yeah. And then character, that was, yeah. Perhaps not Buffalo Bill because he's on the loose, but I'll settle with Hannibal. Prompt number 6 is nope. Which horror element do you want nothing to do with? You turn tail and run for your frickin' life. Okay. Setting, The Troop by Nick Cutter. Now, this hasn't been my favourite read because I think the gore is just a little bit gratuitous and overdone. Kind of an unpopular opinion because it's a lot of people's favourite. But yeah, I don't want to be stuck on an island with this. I'm not going to go into detail. Let's just say it's pretty damn dark. And what happens in the story is pretty gross. That's all I'm going to say. And I don't want to be anywhere near that. Anywhere part of that, thank you. And character. I'm going with Hellbound Heart. So yeah, Hellbound Heart introduces these characters called the Cenobites that kind of exist in some kind of hellish place. And in particular the leader of the Cenobites, which is Pinhead, as he's affectionately known. Yeah, I don't want to be ripped to pieces by these creatures, so I'm going to turn tail and run. Okay, and prompt number 7 is very interesting, and this might take a while, because it said create your own nightmare. So, you will need a setting, a subgenre, a scare factor, main character, spooky companion, conflict, and a special edition, which is something else that you can add to the story, like kind of narration, or is it first person, third person, whatever is at different points of view, or something like that. So I'm going to go through each of these as best I can. I've decided to get a bit creative. Let me know if I've got a novel in me here. I know that something of what I say here might be kind of because I read a lot of horror novels, and some of them might sound familiar, but so be it. I'm not really trying to copy anyone, I'm trying to be original. So a setting is kind of post-apocalyptic, right? Something's happened to the sun. I'll figure that out later. But the sun is sickly. and it's kind of a sickly orange-green colour, and it's basically messing up the planet. Everything is kind of mutating, diseased. The plants and animal life, everything is just dying. There's a sense of disease everywhere. The animals mutate, and unfortunately the people too, except for a select few people that are immune but still feel the sickness and still feel what's happening with the environment and so on. Okay, so imagine a world like that, where everything is dead and diseased and dying. And then we've got a main character. And this main character, oh sorry, yes, before we do that, so yeah, everything is corrupted. That's another word I should use. So everything is corrupted. Then you got a scare factor. So obviously you got mutants. I was going to use zombies, but that's kind of unoriginal. So I decided to go with mutants. When I mean mutants, people start kind of growing boils out of the side of the neck, cancerous growths, stuff like that. Kind of scary. And in addition to this, oh and I forgot to say, the sun is, because of this colour, the world is now in this kind of perpetual gloom. Horrifying colours everywhere. Yeah. And also it wakes up the dead. Not as zombies, but as these vengeful spirits. Because it gives everything kind of this desire to do violence. What's happening to the planet. And so, yeah. So you're not only working with evil spirits here, or evil ghosts, whatever, you also got mutants everywhere. Animals and people. Right. So what are we going to do? Then, main character. Okay, so I'm going to choose Roland from Gunslinger. He's kind of used to crap like this, and he's pretty effective in a gunfight. Okay, that's the first guy. And then you've got companions. I've got a Layla. What do you have? But this Layla is now also immune, and she's twice the size. In fact, no, I've got a pack of Laylas. German Shepherds, Laylas. And they can cause quite a lot of damage and protect me as I go on this quest, which I'm coming to now. And then a spooky companion. There's a book called Necromancer. And in that book, it's one of the heroes, a necroscope. Now a necroscope can talk to the dead and hear their secrets, so become kind of friendly with the dead. In this story that I'm talking about now, we've got an additional power. They can turn the dead to make them on your side. So any evil spirits or ghosts or whatever that try to harm me or harm my group, they're going to turn on. You know, so you've got a kind of spiritual protection there as well, which is kind of cool. Okay, then the conflict. This is where it gets really weird. Sorry, people. And also it might remind you of a book for those of you that have read the book. The conflict is that you need to get to the ocean. You need to get to the coast, because the coastline of the world is the only place that is being uncorrupted. It's not corrupted by the sun for some reason. It's just this little stretch of land along the coast. Right? And the reason for that, haven't really decided yet. Maybe it's a salt from the ocean. Yeah, let's say it's that. So you go there and you have a nice swim and feel good. But yeah, it's the only place that's left uncorrupted. And so these people have to get there. And they have to get there through all the mutants, all the evil spirits and the evil ghosts. And yeah, that's my story. Okay, then we got the conflict. Oh no, then we got, what is it? Special, unique thing about your story. Special edition. Okay, so when I write the story, it's going to be very descriptive. In a way that it's going to bring the world to life. All the stunted trees and the mutants and the plant life and the planet. It's going to become like a character in itself. So it's just going to make it more immersive. That the world is a character. The plants and everything around you is a character. So not just the creatures. Right, I'm going to stop there because, yeah. I have no idea if that'll make a good story. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Okay, next up I've got to tag some people after that absolutely crazy rambling that I just did back there. Yeah, let me know. Be gentle in the comments. Okay, so I'm going to tag 4 people. I tag Nikhil from Esteem, John from Disquiet and Dragons, still love that name, Angel from Angel Can't Read, and Sophie from In Sophie's Books. Oh, and by the way, this Sunday I'm going to be appearing on Angel's channel. I think it's got the date right. I'm going to be talking about kind of a rotten fellow called Rotten Tommy by David Sodergren. So yes, watch out for that. But yeah, everyone, that's the tag. Kind of a strange tag for me, but it was a lot of fun. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. And please comment down below. Let me know what you think. And take care of yourselves. And keep those pages turning. And cheers.